All right, so the house survived the night. It didn't fall down. That's a plus, because I'm always doing some sketchy crap, you know. So yeah, so I did a Home Depot run with some concrete, got another 13 sheets of subfloor and some house wrap. And thinking this morning, I was having my breakfast, and the way the subfloor, the floor joists go in, they slide in and sister up along the other ones and bonus out the other side some. So if I do the sill and the rim joist, then it's going to be quite the fiasco to fish the boards in under there where they're going to be longer than the opening. So I'll probably work on getting the concrete work done that I want to do, and then I'll work on getting all these out. Then I'll cut all these to length, and then I'll take them out. I'll probably just slide them that way so they can go outside, and then drop them into the floor joist area they're supposed to go, and get them slid in, and do that with all of them. Over, out, suck them back in, and get them in further than they need to be so I can do the sill plate and all that stuff. Oh, but also, sorry, I missed a step. Right there, that's a support beam across, and the ends of it are rotted some, so it's settled. So once I get all these floor joists out, I got to knock that out of there, and then that's what the pressure treated stuff's for. I got to build a new header basically down there, and then once that's in, then I can start fishing those floor joists in. So yeah, oh boy, more work. Let's get to it. Oh, one step done. Concrete's on. So it's all reasonably level now. This little low area is level. So that's good. So now I'll go inside and work on all those floor joists. Alright, so rather than dangling around upstairs, I'm going to try and be under the other side of the house and see if I can break off all these floor joists from this side. Probably a little safer down here, just kind of working over that way a little bit. So I just came down, cut down all the wires that were running across, so all that's disconnected a long time ago anyway. And yeah, let's see if this works. think that's going to be it for tonight. As you can see, there's no floor up there. I'm down in the basement and I'm looking up at the roof. All the floor joists are out, the cross brace is out, the foundation, the concrete's fixed, and yeah, there's a pile of mess down here. There's a pile of lumber on the ground, but it is wide open. Now, hopefully, I still can't get over I can walk around in the basement without ducking my head. Being 6'3", it's not something that's common. Got all the, I keep focusing back on that. Out of all the work that needs, that's it's a pretty good positive. And yeah, this is what it looks like from upstairs. No floor joists, all the stubs are beat off. Still got to get the nails out of all those. And that big timber, I knocked that down. And the time lapse was acting weird, so hopefully it was getting everything. But we're, yeah, oh boy. So yeah, so we're ready for assembly tomorrow. Tomorrow should be the big push. Yeah, so I got to put that timber across first. So I got to cut all those boards, get those in there, screwed together. And then I can start positioning all the floor joists in. And once I get those all, because I got to stick those out and then back into the hole over there where they go. And then I can put the rim, the sill plate and the rim joist on and all that. And once that sill plate and rim joist is in, anchored and screwed in, then I should be able to have the floor in this thing in no time. So that's huge. And yeah, I had a visit from Ken and Holly and Timber, and they stopped by to check on progress, and then we played with Timber out in the backyard. So it's always good getting puppy time. So did that for a little while. That was a good way to wrap up the night. Hope you guys have a good night or morning. I keep posting these things in the morning, I think. So anyway, thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome. All right. House stayed standing another night, balancing on the edge of nothing. So overnight I was thinking about all the timbers and everything downstairs. I was thinking about trying to drag them up and through there and out front because the dumpster's closer to the front. I think that's kind of foolish with the wall kind of balancing the way it is. So I'm just going to drag them out of the way so I can work on that cross beam, and I'll end up taking them out of the bulkhead and I'll throw them right on the pallet forks on the tractor and run them around the house. Nice and simple, dump them right in the dumpster at that point. So yeah, so I'm gonna work a few, just dragging all this debris out of the way, and then I'm gonna start working on making these timbers across here. One thing I realized when I was scooping out the rotted away timbers is the pockets there, like that dock area. It's like they put it in and they lifted it up to where it needed to be, and then they just spackled some concrete under there while it settled. So it's not all the way back, it's just kind of at the front edge. I'll show you a quick picture. So I may do the same thing, kind of get it in there, make sure it's level, and then I'll pick it up a good amount, and then I'll scoop a bunch behind it, level up the back area. So it's not like resting on a 1-inch strip on the edge. I'd rather it be nice and flat all the way in. And that cavity in the back, I'm sure that wasn't good for the water that was coming in the house sitting there and rotting away the bottom of that board either. So I'll show you that real quick here, and we'll get to it. The other thing I got to do is I got to denail all those floor joists there in the beam, get all that ready for when the new floor joists go in. On me, I'll just kind of step on the edge of nothing. You can see that corner pocket. See how there's only concrete at the side edge over there and the front edge, and the big cavity in the back. It's even less on that one over there. So that's what I'll be leveling up. But anyway, enough talking. I'm gonna get to work. Got a lot to do. Well, that's a better work environment. Chopped a bunch of the old wires out of there that were all disconnected anyway, and threw all the floor timbers over here for right now, and all the wires over there, and all the extra debris piled here. It's not out, but it's out of my way, and that's what we want. We want out of my way right now. And I'm gonna have to figure out what this is, because I got a sump pump here. Along the side of it, there's a wire going out where the sump pump goes out through the foundation. I wonder if there was a light out front somewhere. Weird. Well, I'm gonna get back to it. All right, so the beam is glued, screwed, glued, screwed, glued, screwed, and then it'll get a bunch of ledger locks. Is that what they call it? Yeah, I think ledger locks all the way through it from both sides before it's done. But in like curveball of everything, the first board I put up, it lined right up with the bottom of the top of that sill plate, which is exactly where it needs to be, because that board's on the sill plate. All the boards that rest on this should line up with that sill plate there also. So the first one I put in fit perfect. And then as I started, you can see, now the first one and the second one is levitating and the third one's levitating. And then this one's tilted back a little bit, so this one's levitating, and this one will be levitating when this is standing straight up. But basically what I did was I shuffled them around on the bottom to get the top nice and level. Because the top's what really needs to be level, because you want all your floorboards to sit on this nice all the way across. And where this sat perfectly level, now it's almost a ½ inch higher than it's supposed to be, because that should be the exact same height as that, and that's what the first board did. So I got to get in here and shave all these down. Shave this one and this one down some with a Sawzall, hopefully just chew in there and get it down to where it needs to go. Not the end of the world. I got to do it on the other side too. but not the end of the world, but just one little hurdle. It's fine. We'll get through it. All right, you can't tell from here, but this one side shaved down nice. Using my obnoxiously heavy, beefy chisel. Found this thing at a estate sale one day. This thing has saved my butt a million times. It's heavy as hell using overhead, but it does a good job. This side over here, I was using the Sawzall, and some of it. Basically, their rough patched in shim that was too high just crumbled right out of it. Some of it you could tell wasn't even attached, and some of it was definitely because of the vibration of the Sawzall trying to squeeze it in there. So now this side's too low. So what I'll probably do, I'm stopping for lunch because I'm starving. I'm probably going to put a screw through at an angle and get it to go all the way through the wood and pinch into the concrete, and as it's screwing through the wood, it'll lift the wood up once it hits the concrete, because the screw won't go into the wood, into the concrete. So it'll kind of work as a jack. So I'll put one on each side, I'll jack it up, get it nice and level, and then I'll mix up some more of that cement, and I'll feed that all the way into the back and get that all wedged in there nice. And I got one little area over there I want to add like 1/8 of an inch shim on that side up on top. So I'll do all that after lunch. All right, so that side is propped up where I need it to be, and concreted under there. Just concrete a couple other areas, and then over here, right underneath that wall, I needed to bring it up just a little bit, like 3/16 of an inch, for it to line up with the sill plate on this wall and that cross member across there, the header or whatever you want to call it, joist we'll call it. So I gotta wait for that to dry. I think it's 3 hours, and then it can hold like 3,000 pounds of pressure or whatever. So I'm just gonna let that get firm to the point where I can slide the board around on it without disturbing it, and do that. So I guess what I'll start in the meantime is I'll start snaking the long boards in from the outside. That very first one, I gotta put that in from the outside because I'm still carrying some load to the roof here with that beam. So I gotta sneak through on the outside of that. So I'll probably start sneaking that one in and just kind of work my way over, getting them staged, and get as many in there and staged as possible. And then at that point I'll be able to do this one, and then once this one goes in, then I can do the sill on the front, because this one kind of has to go in first, and then the sill and the rim joist can go on the outside. So let's get to it. Well, it's not on the foundation yet. We're really close. Got the sill plate and the rim joist all in place. It's basically just kind of screwed in the corners at the moment until I start getting everything lined up with the foundation, and then I gotta put a bunch of boards down inside to be able to get in that area to drill holes to anchor the sill plate. And once that sill plate's anchored, then I can start putting the plywood under the walls and letting the walls down and dealing with all that stuff. But that's resting in place. And this one is actually the same floor joist all the way inside. All the floor joists are in place. That main beam's all built, leveled, screwed, glued, concreted under that side, shimmed up, concrete underneath this one. I had to shim this sill plate just a little bit to get it to line up with this sill here and this beam here. And there's the back side of the sill and rim joist. And basically once I get the sill anchored in a few places along both sides, then all these boards, I had to beat them in because they're wedging between the old flooring and that beam. So I just got to go to the other side, beat them back a little bit, or I might screw a block near the end on the side of it and be able to hit it with a little sledgehammer to get them to drive out just till they touch the rim joist. And then I'll cut blocking between them all. So I'll take this one, take a measurement, take a measurement, take a measurement, take a measurement, and I'll cut all the blocks that match this side and number them, and then I'll put them over on this side. And those will just be perfect little spacers to just be able to throw it in, slide that on, toenail it, and then have all my measurements from outside and then nail it all from outside. So yeah, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun getting all those 2x10s down from here and down and turned and then pushed up and out of the foundation and then back in, standing up on end, wedging them into the old floor there and getting those started. That was quite a doing it by yourself. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt, but got it done, and didn't have to bother any of my neighbors. You know me, everybody offers to help, and I'm always stubborn, just trying to do it all myself. It's a deficiency I have. Always just trying to do things myself as much as possible. But anyway, that's it for tonight. The sun's just about to drop down. I'm gonna go take a much needed shower. Hope you guys had a good day. Thanks for watching, and hopefully some of the time lapse is entertaining.